Okay. Hello, friends. What do you mean you're not ready? It's all good. It's all good. We're just doing an intro now. Can I? Okay, we're about to get started. I'm trying not to scream into the mic, so just bear with me for a second. Hi, everybody. My name is Sophia. I am the chair here at this wonderful organization. We today is our second meeting of the month. I know we have a couple new faces in here. Thank you guys for coming. This meeting will be more procedural based. We're going to look over some bylaws stuff. We've got a couple of changes to review, and that is mostly going to be led by this awesome man up here, Austin. I will review, we'll talk about it, I'm just saying, in terms of like how structure goes for these kinds of meetings. Austin is our man, he's our secretary, so he knows all the verbiage that we need to use to make this legitimate. I think that's kind of it. If West wants to speak, he can. Emma is our policy chair. West is our second vice chair, so if you want to come up and speak, that's great. You can tell everybody what you were up to today. That would be awesome.
You know I'm never going to say that.
I know you won't. Counting on it. He's going to put on the suit jacket, and then he'll come up and give you some information.
All right, contain your applause, everybody. Calm down. Hey, everybody. We have a little bit going on. I did want to bring to everybody's attention. Biggest thing is we do have an education exchange scheduled for February 8th. It's going to be led by Carrie. It's going to be going over abortion access, abortion rights, and the current abortion fight, how you can get involved, as well as the steps we've taken so far. She is one of the key members, and I think the current spokesperson for PSAF. Is that right? She's the board president for Palmetto State Abortion Fund. She is also our campaigns chair, or not campaigns, comms chair, communications. So want to make sure everybody is there for that. It's going to be an incredible event. Last one was very, very, very informative, so hope to see as many people there as possible. We are also trying to get a couple things off the ground. Particularly for me, we will be having a D&D one-shot for YDofCM. There's going to be, if you do it, just a warning, you're going to have to come to 2 functions. One, we will be having a session 0. Also, I am going to have to get other people to help me run it since we have had a lot of interest. So if you're interested, there's plenty of room. You just might not be having it run by me, but instead by someone infinitely more qualified. If you have any more questions, come see me. Also, I did put something out in the chat. If you have any images of yourself doing something political, Young Dems at a meeting or anything like that, please do send them my way. I do want to update our little meeting slideshow to have more images of some of the Young Dems. And that is all I have for my report. Thank you. Okay. So today, myself and Bridget were at the University of South Carolina for their student union, I forgot what they were calling it. It was a press conference about their current detestment of the actions of ICE in Minneapolis, kind of preempting the walkout that will be happening this Friday. The general strike begins at 2 p.m. There will be a meeting at the State House grounds at 4 p.m. Local organizers from several different organizations that we partner with, that they partner with, were there to speak. Jermaine Johnson, former YDofCM member and current candidate for governor in the Democratic primary of South Carolina, was the first person to open up. I had the honor of getting to speak there today. So it was a very, very monumental moment for not only us as an organization, but me in my personal life. It was very incredible. We are committed to helping out a couple different organizations. The biggest one from today is Midlands Defensa. It is also run by the same Carrie who's running our education exchange. She's a wonderful person. We are helping them in the prevention of the government overreach with immigrations and custom enforcement. So if you have any questions about that, please do let us know. We're happy to get you as much literature as we possibly can. But today was a stepping stone, and we're hoping to keep building on that as we keep going moving forward.
Okay. Christine, I'm just asking, do you have anything you would like to add for communications? Okay, cool. So like I said, we've got bylaw stuff to go over. I will say, just for calendar's sake, our next monthly meeting is February 11th. That will happen at SCDP headquarters. All of that will be shared in the chat. Jermaine Johnson, speaking of, will be speaking at that meeting. So if you have questions, come with questions prepared. And I think that's kind of it. We're going to jump into some bylaw stuff. So I don't know if we want to leave the live on for that and just reposition. Okay, yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Hello, hello. This is Timothy, your treasurer and finance chair. I'm also Black Tom Brady. So just to be clear, we are still ironing out. Everything is still good. I'm waiting for the numbers from our former chair because he still has access to it. We are getting that ironed out. So we will be, hopefully by the next meeting, I'm going to put up a perspectives of budget-wise of what we want to do as far as making sure our dollars stretch as much as possible. Aside from that, on the other front is that my personal project of the urbanist perspectives package is being finalized because there's been 2 bills that I got to add on. And that also, I know me and Wes talked about it a little bit, the Clyburn Fellowship is coming due. I believe, is that Friday?
It's literally on
Friday? By 5, right? So Friday by 5, Michael, anybody, if y'all want to get serious about like joining that fellowship, just get those apps in. So James Clyburn, the congressman of the 6th district, he does a fellowship to train up young Democrats who are serious contenders to run for public office and whatnot.
Correction, SCDP does the fellowship. It's in his name.
Exactly. So it's basically like a leadership seminar just to get you involved on a more serious level. Like we're like, imagine it's junior league, that's like the super league stuff. So, if you want to be serious about running for public office and stuff like that, that's what you sign on for and all that stuff. It is a 8-week.
No, it is
It's-
a it is now a 4-session. It is now a 4-weekend. It is
I don't know why I said 8.
basically 8 classes.
There we go. It was 8.
8 classes over 4 weekends.
There we go. Yeah.
You do have to attend all 4 weekends in order to graduate from college.
I will we'll put the link in the Signal chat. That way, if you want to be serious about doing that, and basically, try and level up on that stuff there.
And those weekends are on the YDofCM calendar. So if you cannot make one of the weekends, just try for next year, because that's basically what I'm doing. Because I think the last
I think they're stickler.
the last time Fellowship weekend is literally my sister's graduation
Woo.
from that stuff.
Yeah, but that's all I got for finance, and we will touch base on the next meeting.
Thank you, Tim. jump into the bylaw stuff, and then I'll hop back up to shove some more dates in your face before we close up for the night. So I don't know if we're going to adjust camera and mic to talk about bylaws.
Okay, so I have a question before we start. So I know Jeff.
Can you come?
How many people do we have? We had 8 when I was last checking.
Okay, so
9?
okay, so I know.
Chat, that's crazy.
So before we get started, because I know there is a written proposal from Justice. I do not know if there is a written proposal for the committee rework.
Can I make that proposal orally?
I mean, okay, I'm going to need that right now.
Yeah, if that's the one that I sent into the leadership chat early January. It's got like my whole outline for restructuring.
Oh Christ! That is so.
Would you like to just look at the...
That is so far down. That is. Oh Christ! That is so far down the.
I know. I'll resend it. I think I have it.
Yeah.
But in here, committees refresh. Does that count? Proposed edits.
Basically what we want to do is take, I think it's like communications and membership.
All right. So to merge the communications and membership committees.
Are there still like young dem caucuses?
There technically are at state level. There technically are at state level.
So not us.
No, and you want YDofCM to do something?
That was my question.
Sorry.
Are there more efficiencies that we find?
With us, no.
Okay. So I'm going to ask for a recess.
Recess
So
for
just
what?
like do this at another time?
So that we can turn this into something that we can actually vote on.
I mean, can we vote on it now and then turn it into something later? Okay. My apologies.
Sorry. Like
Then
what
what-
exists and what needs changing?
Okay. So then what we'll do.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that. Okay. Pause. We'll do this. So what we're gonna do instead then, to comply, this is why we have an amazing secretary to tell us what the rules are. So what we'll do is we'll review edits tonight, talk about how that would impact our bylaws and all that good stuff, get it written up, and then maybe we can just do a quick vote next meeting or next month's second meeting. Cool? Everybody cool with that?
Make a motion to adopt your plan.
Seconded?
Oh, second by Ms.
Thank you. Wow. All right. So fully supported. I'm going to sit down so we can talk about this, and then I know. Okay. I'll just.
No, we've let me be the moderator now.
You gonna moderate?
We could, but we're not going to. So, all right, everyone. So, I'll be moderator of the discussion tonight. We're going to do West rules when it comes to discussing topics. So, what's going to happen is we're going to have one person be acknowledged by the stool to speak, and then people can raise their hands to respond with any thoughts to the contrary or positive. So, Sophia, would you like to introduce the changes you want to make, and then we can open up for open discussion? Absolutely. Okay, here you go.
Thanks. Moderator.
My pleasure.
Okay. So in our bylaws, I will flip to be official. Article 8 outlines our committee chairs and like requirements for being in a committee. Currently, we have quite a bit of committees. we've got communications, which does all of our social media stuff. We have campaigns, which obviously focuses on campaign-related materials. Advocacy, which does all of our direct outreach and like reaching out with other organizations that we want to work with. We have policy, which kind of reviews our bylaws and lets everybody know what we're about, what YDCM stands for. And then we also have the membership committee, which obviously reviews our membership and deals with membership retention and all that good stuff. As of right now, I'm not going to say we're strapped, but we don't have a huge amount of people participating in our committees, which I would like to change. So if you're not on a committee, join a committee. That would be great.
So this is why
Wait. You raise your hands first.
I did.
Then you have to go up into the mic.
Okay.
Sophia, as you are the sitting stool, you may acknowledge anyone with their hand up.
Okay. Austin. Yes.
So this is why I did not want to bring up a vote tonight. So because technically the membership committee does not constitutionally exist in our bylaws. There's literally 4 constitutional committees. Well, 5 with finance, and then there are 2 committees that are technically ad hoc committees. So membership and I think advocacy are technically ad hoc committees. They were created by Jeremy, and I think they would expire at the end of the term unless we wanted to actually create their existence. But what is being proposed would basically collapse all of our main committees into basically 2 committees, if I recall. Sorry, into like 3 committees. Well, into 4 committees if I'm adding finance.
I was reviewing bylaws, which is what I do for my job a lot. Two, like, I guess really big things came up while I was reviewing it. The first one was throughout the bylaws, the name of our group switches, like literally 10 times. So my question is, are we the Young Democrats of the Central Midlands, or are we the Young Democrats of Central Midlands? I know it sounds picky.
Where do we jump in?
I know it sounds picky, but it goes back and forth like 20 times.
So it,
And I guess I just need an answer.
so honestly, we have been calling ourselves the Young Democrats of the Central Midlands.
Okay.
Throughout our history.
Okay.
I'll say on all of our merchandise, all of our websites,
Yeah.
it is Young Democrats of the Central.
Okay, because I can even just show you like Article 2, Section 2 authority. It says Young Democrats of Central Midlands. So like every time it says it, it needs to say the Central Midlands. Or we can just use the YDofCM.
The monikers, to be honest with you, are Young Democrats of the Central Midlands. Or
Okay.
The Young Democrats of
It's the Central, yeah,
Or YD
of CM. Yeah, okay. So I don't know if that's something that just needs to be like Control F searched and just fixed throughout there.
Can I make a motion to change all that?
Okay, so that you can do.
We vote on it.
I know it's just like a Control F search and find.
We'll vote them all at one time.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's vote them all at one time.
I think that would be a good idea.
We do need to add to policy.
The other one that I found was in, oh God, what section is this? Article 5, Section 4. Okay. This is essentially removal of officers. Okay. Through reading it, I'm just going to read exactly what it says. It says members of the executive board can be removed from the office under following conditions. Okay. Condition 1, any member of the executive board or council may make a written request to remove an executive board or officer. Okay. My question off of that is it only executive members that can write and say, hey, like I'm just going to take an example. Like, let's just say, like, another executive member says, hey, I don't want you as chair anymore. My question is it just exclusively to executive members that can write that, or is it any member? Because that kind of dilutes, like, let's say, again, God forbid, but let's say I want to write up and say, hey, I want you gone from chair. Is that not allowed per the bylaws?
So what I'll say is that
I'll let
you
you.
have more.
No, that's my last one.
I think that I think that those clapping, excellent addition. You 100% need to be in the policy chat like right now. Absolutely. What I will say is the other thing that we were going to review tonight was submitted by another member who also happens to be secretary of our statewide organization. He submitted, and I'll pass this around the table. I unfortunately only have the one copy. It is member complaints and discipline. So this should address that exact thing, not only how we deal with officers, but also how we deal with members. Exactly. Austin.
So in
You can do that.
So the
You've got the mic backwards. Pop filter faces you.
all right.
There we go.
So here's the
Austin. Pop filter with a smiley. We're screaming. It's gotta sound good.
So section 4, removal of officers, that does mention an executive board and council. That's in this context, that's the formal name to our leadership team. So as it stands right now, in order to remove an officer, either an officer or one of the committee chairs can move can move to remove an officer. That has to be a 2/3 vote of leadership. But
I guess my question is, can the like the complaint? Because in here it sounds like only complaints can come from other executive members. It can't come from general membership.
yeah, it doesn't.
And I guess that's my point is like if I wanted to do a written
Yeah,
complaint against someone to remove them.
Yep, that is true. That is true. However, that's when the state bylaws override. So they so if I don't
Is it state bylaws that only?
that any member can file a complaint.
Okay.
Yeah, we know that all. Yeah. We know that all too goddamn well.
Might be worth updating hours too. I don't like
Yeah,
not that YDofCM
Another point, to Austin's
like
point,
having something that's like
parts of our, and maybe it's just the ethics portion of our bylaws. Sorry for snagging you into the cord. I'm not sure if it's just the ethics section of our bylaws that we have adopted from our statewide organization, but we do adopt parts to include in our constitution. So again, what we can do actually is send both our constitution, I think, and our statewide in the announcements chat so that everybody can review those and have access to those if they want them. And then we can go through more proposed edits, I suppose. I don't have a problem with this. This has been a very productive conversation. Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest with you, I am not policy oriented in the slightest. So this is excellent. Does anybody have any questions related to what we have talked about so far?
Can we agree to change the name?
Yeah, I
I just want consistency.
so we're putting forward a motion to accept the change in nomenclature of YDCM within the bylaws to be consistent to YDofCM and the or Young Democrats of the Central Midlands. Seconded by West. Excellent. Does anybody
Can we get a thumbs up?
All right. So
by thumbs?
is there any other discussion?
Any other discussion?
No, we got thumbs up.
All right. Motion to go to the previous question by Michael.
Aye, thumbs up.
Aye.
Alright,
second
that
it.
was pretty unanimous.
All right. Beautiful. Sounds great.
the justice share
We are now known
I
as.
think he simply printed it out at the disciplinary meeting. I know. Do you have a question?
A subsidiary of.
This is like a super small thing for me,
Yeah.
but and I'm not sure if this would be like a policy thing or something else.
Yeah.
Is there any way we can make it to where like meeting minutes get shared publicly like prior to the next meeting?
Yeah, absolutely.
Few meetings I've been to where we get the previous minutes like the same day or like we're sitting in the meeting, and so like if I missed the last one, I'm not gonna see what happened. So
Yeah.
then I show up. If I don't show up that next meeting, I might not see it at all.
Yeah.
So I just wonder,
Absolutely.
or
I
it's not like a place where we can go and see like all of them.
Yeah. So I think what we can do, first of all, Austin is the one that does our minutes, so thank you to Austin because that's work, TM. What I will say is that I have been thinking about putting a link to our Constitution, to our minutes and everything like that on our website so that people can have access to that. Alternatively, we'll have a Google Drive link that everybody can get into. All of our members can get into, that you would be able to see that beforehand. But I'm going to make a note about that, and we will attempt to share minutes beforehand. Sweet. Okay. Okay. We got anything else? Everybody feeling good? Sweet. All right. If it's okay with y'all, I'm going to go over some dates, and then I'm going to put it to bed. Good? Okay. I'm gonna grab my calendar real quick. 1 second.
Are you definitely part of policy now?
I edited the chat, so you
Okay,
keep it
okay,
between.
I
Not
edited the
allowed to
chat.
say no
Right,
anymore.
right. Yeah.
You were voluntold.
Yeah.
That's.
Is this the justice thing or is this?
No, now we are going over. Oh, the paperwork that might be circulating, you can review it. That is Justice's proposal for ethics edits. But right now, we're just going over dates to add to your calendar in case you want stuff to do.
And these are already on the YDCM calendar,
If they are not on the calendar, they will be on the calendar tonight.
and we can access the calendar by going to ydofcm.com/events.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you, West.
So, I got a
Oh,
question.
yes.
So I believe on Facebook, y'all communicate like on group meeting or anything like that?
So what I will say is that we have a signal chat. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, yeah. No, I got you.
Okay.
You have the QR code for that?
Somebody, one of our leaders here will get you in the signal chat.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay, so real fast, tomorrow, there are a couple events happening. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, there is a protest on Harbison and Lake Murray Boulevard. That will also be shared in the chat. It has been a couple of times. So if you're in the Irmo area, you can go and support them and protest ICE because we got a lot of shit going on. The other thing that's happening tomorrow is a mass community meeting for ICE mobilization that is open to the public. That will be at Shandon Presbyterian, and it will be at 6 o'clock. That will also be shared in the chat. It has already, but in case you haven't seen it, for your calendars. West has already mentioned that Friday is national shutdown in support of Minneapolis. No buying, no work. If you can. If you can't, walk out at 2. And if you can't do that, there are other ways to support. And then protest. So walk out at 2 p.m. And protest at the State House at 4 p.m. What I am going to ask is people that are here, we are going to make some signs for us specifically as a group. So if you have recommendations of signs that you might like to see, send those or chat about it here at the table or put them in the chat because I need ideas. I can't.
Just one tiny thing. Just slap a QR code on each of those. That way they can scan it.
That's a good idea, actually.
That's
Yes.
the only thing I'm gonna
Sure.
add on there.
QR code.
And that's what we're gonna have you do, though.
Whoa!
And you can draw
I'm doing the 9. I can go 9 to 5.
Yeah, and at 6 o'clock, we will be making those signs.
Smart.
I will say that on Saturday, January 31st, there is a South Carolina Cannabis Coalition. Will be at the State House from 10 to 5 p.m. A lot of 420 related stuff. It's going to be great. Sorry, my brain is really not here right now. Okay. Moving on. We are technically planning a Super Bowl watch party. Be on the lookout for that. Yes, that's another thing. See? Brain. We are supporting a local drag queen who is on RuPaul's Drag Race. Woo! We love Kenya Pleaser. If you're interested in coming to a watch party, we have been at the Hoot for a couple of weeks now. Kenya's still doing it. Love to see it. Yes.
So, it's a small thing. The Cannabis Coalition is on Friday, not Saturday.
Thank you. See? Look at that. Correction. Cannabis Coalition at the State House is on Friday, not on Saturday. That will be interesting. The overlap there.
So this goes directly into the.
Yeah, it does. That's a little weird.
Only because I get into the hood since it's on my way home. Lord, for all of this, hopefully get there early because it is a.
I do recommend coming early just in case the Hoot was bumping.
I will be there.
Is there any way you
Getting
can
a
post
table
it?
for us.
So all of this information that I'm spitting at you guys, if you're not in the chat already, I will make sure to reshare in our announcements chat so that you have all the information. All right. Those are outdated upcoming events, so don't look at that. There will be a training for volunteers for Sylvia Wright. That will be on Friday, February 6th. We will, again, re-review all of this. If you're interested in volunteering for Sylvia Wright, reach out to me and we'll get you involved with her campaign. She's great. She's running for superintendent. The next thing is February 6th, yes. And then, obviously, Super Bowl is on the 8th of February?
Yes.
Great.
You said the next general meeting was?
Confirmed. The next general meeting is Wednesday, February 11th. That will be at SCDP, Democratic Party headquarters. It's on Gadsden Street. Yeah. That will also be at 6:30. Jermaine Johnson will be coming to speak. And we'll also kind of be entertaining a high school Democratic group. So that's cool.
Just to beat him to the punch, we are not endorsing this candidate in any way, shape, or form.
No, we are not endorsing Jermaine Johnson. We just simply love him.
I know you're going to say it. We're going to shut that shit down right now. We're going to shut that down right now.
What I'm also going to ask is if you have an event that you know is happening and you're like, oh man, we should go as a group, and or you're like, man, Young Dems should table at that, send that to a leadership member. Listen, I just got chewed because I didn't know an event was happening, and I was like, I can't keep track. There's too much stuff going on. So RCDP is having candidate training on February 7th at 2 p.m. At SCDP headquarters. Okay. I think that kind of... Oh, there's also a music festival happening, which is great. Food's Not Bombs will be there. It's going to be excellent. I'll share that information in the chat. That will also be February 7th. It's going to be a busy week. So, put that on your calendars. We're trying to see if Young Dems can table at that. It'll be awesome. It's a mutual aid event. So, yes, West. An ex-Valentine celebration was proposed for the 14th of February. I am married, but the singles among us could absolutely get that going. That could be fun.
Yeah, about that, I'm just going to let you know I will be out of state.
Timothy will be out of state, so if you're interested, that's not your opportunity.
I have,
That's not it for you. You're gonna...
Yeah, I have business in New York, so I will be out of state.
So true. February 21st. Yes. Yes. YDSC, I am shoving so many dates at you. Please keep an eye on our Facebook because I'm giving you a whole bunch of dates. Some of this may change, hopefully not. But there will be a statewide body meeting for Young Democrats of South Carolina. That is happening Saturday, February 21st. There at noon? Yes. At noon. That will be virtual. The link has, I believe, been shared on our social media now, but we will continue to boost that over the next little while. If you've seen the video, don't watch until the end. That's all I have to say.
Just let you know, this is not supposed to replace the state. This is not supposed to replace the state convention.
Yes.
So I think they will announce. So I think they will announce it at the end.
Yes, there will also be a state convention for Young Dems. I believe that will be happening in March. That's a tentative date, but yes, that will be shared hopefully at that general body meeting. Okay, now that I have, basically yelled at you guys, is there anything else? Any events that people want to throw out?
We got the Clyburn bill shipped out.
Reminder, Clyburn Fellowship closes on Friday, so put in your applications if you want to. Okay, so to recap, all we're doing is looking at Justice's proposal for member complaints. That will be further reviewed. Like Austin mentioned, the way that we have to do this is have a write-up, a formal write-up of proposals and edits. So I'm not sure we'll do it on February 11th, likely February 25th, which will be our second monthly meeting. We're going to try and make our second monthly meetings our business meetings, so very policy and business focused. Yeah. All right. So I think that's about it. Does anybody have any questions? Austin.
One last thing, and I'm sorry to discuss this well to March, but we do have county conventions coming up.
Yes. County conventions are coming up. Those will be in March.
RCDP is March 7th
Richland County's convention is March 7th
at the Meeting Place Church
at Meeting Place Church
on Columbia Mall Boulevard
on Columbia Mall Boulevard
from like 2 to 4 p.m. I think.
from 2 to 4 p.m. ish. That information will again be shared. I will say we have a Google Calendar. If you're not on the Google Calendar, come speak to me and give me your email. That is the only way I'm keeping track of things. I have a physical calendar in front of me, but Google Calendar is where it's at. Yeah, keep an eye out for other county conventions. Those will be coming up. Like we said, RCDP is the March 7th, 2 to 4.
From 2 to 4, from 2-ish to 4-ish. Like I said, up at Meeting Place Church, at the Meeting Place Church. And then Lexington County is tentatively having theirs on their regular third Wednesday date, which is March 16th.
For YouTube, Lexington's county convention will likely be at their general meeting
On March 16th.
on March 16th.
But that's
Keep an eye out for changes if you're in Lexington. Okay. Now that I am fully parched and talked all the way out.
Have we had the State of the Union just yet?
The state
Good point. If you're still watching, State of the State address is tonight. Jermaine Johnson will be doing a response, the Democratic response. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll see if we can watch that before we all peace out for the night.
Yeah, State of the Union.
All right. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you to the new people in the room. Thank you guys for all of your input on policy stuff. And hopefully I'll see you at the protest on Friday. Woo! Yep, we'll do. That sounds